Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Friday, January 25th. And it is cold here. It is 3 degrees. Yeah. So raining on Wednesday, 3 degrees on Friday. So a lot has gone on. Although I don't know if I need to talk about a lot. I was going through my checklist in my mind of things I wanted to cover. First of all, cut to the chase. Jonathan is probably still getting evicted. That seems to be the way it's going to go. Now, there was some talk of flipping the votes. Tamar is still would like to see Candy gone. That's number one, but that's not going to change. She's kind of a constant. She's like, I'm going to vote the way you want, or you don't need my vote, or she just thinks Candy should go. But it's not personal. It is so personal. But then early on Thursday, there was a thing in the bathroom where Tom and Ricky and Kato were talking, and Natalie was there too, and Ricky started it off. I mean, this conversation went on for a bit, but at one point Ricky says, people changed as soon as the cameras came on, and he doesn't like that. He didn't like how people changed when the cameras came on. They aren't being the same people they were, which Tamar would back that up completely, saying that, Candy was so nice before the cameras turned on. As soon as the cameras turned on, it got catty. But in this case, Ricky says, people changed, and then he's like, but not all people changed, implying he hasn't changed. And Tom did this whole little song and did this little flip around where he said, well, you changed too. Saying, that, well, look, you act different now because you're upset because other people changed. So the cameras coming on actually did change you because you're not happy now, and that has changed who you are. And Ricky's like, it's brilliant, way to go. And then Ricky comes back with this whole, you see, but this is part of your shtick, so why did you go to that lengths to point out, to kind of make me look wrong kind of a thing? And Tom's like, no, not really. I just, and then I'm totally paraphrasing, and I have this clip, and we may or may not play it on Saturday, but then Ricky's like, there you go. Ricky's like, because it kind of shows who you really are, because, it shows that you're really a prick. And Tom's like, wait, what, huh? And he's like, oh, and he says, no, that's your true character, is, you like to be a prick. Okay, I get it. And he says, but that's okay, because I like to be a prick too. And it was total, in my opinion, passive aggressiveness. It was total, Ricky was being such a dick towards Tom, intentionally. It was just like, wow, Ricky, you're an asshole. This is my thought. And it kind of, and they kind of laughed it off, and, oh, it's okay, yeah, we're cool, and laughed and joked. And then a little bit later, Tom said, what all do you eat, Ricky? Because I just never see you eating. Now, I don't think Tom was basically like, I'm hungry. He said, but Tom, I don't know, what do you eat, Ricky? I never see you eating. Now, maybe Ricky is not comfortable with his weight, because Ricky's seems like he's got a little extra on him. So maybe Ricky was offended by it, but Ricky's just like, well, you don't have to eat a lot. I don't eat, you can, whatever Ricky's song and dance made was kind of like coming back again at Tom, like kind of dickish, like, why are you asking me this question? Now, again, maybe Tom is being perceived as being a jerk. I just didn't see Tom's questions as being too, I didn't see him as being a prick or anything, but you can just tell by Ricky. Ricky was not having anything that he was getting ticked off, and but not, just kind of doing it, as I said, passive aggressively, kind of saying his thing. So that little scene went on. Now, my guess is that there have been other things that have happened that we haven't seen on the feeds, or maybe they were earlier on the feeds and I just didn't see them. But you can just tell there's some tension between Ricky and Tom. And later on, so then it proceeds with Tom going to Kato going, I don't know if I want to vote out Jonathan. We're getting rid of an ally and keeping, someone like Candy, who I don't see what benefit it is to keep her. And Kato's all like, no, Jonathan and Ryan are too strong together. We got to break that up. So this happened a couple of different times. Now, fast forward late at night. I haven't seen this yet, but I've read about it. they're doing these fake talk shows and stuff, and Ricky again started digging at Tom, and I guess somebody goaded Tom into doing his stand-up, and Ricky was kind of heckling him, and Tom kind of got ticked off about it. It sounds like, again, I haven't seen this, and told, Ricky said, well, why don't you play football? Kind of like, you're criticizing my, what I do, because Tom does do stand-up. He said, this is not a good situation, not a good audience kind of a thing, and so it sounds like it got tense there again, and so again, you can just see there's something going on between Tom and Ricky. And they later on supposedly patched it up, but there's no patching this up. This is going to exist no matter what. Tom and Ricky are always going to be on edge with each other. And again, Tom talked to Lolo about possibly not getting rid of Jonathan. That got shut down again. But it's out there. And now remember, Ricky is staying in the bedroom with Lolo and Tamar and Natalie. So those four are in a bedroom together. Meanwhile, Candy is staying in the other bedroom with all guys. I can't remember which all guys she's staying with, but so there's a subtle alliance even if there isn't a formal alliance. But that whole bit there. So the gist of what's going on in the house is that Jonathan's going. That stuff went on yesterday. And I was thinking about the casting process, and they had to have known. Obviously, they knew when they cast both Tamar and Candy that there was going to be problems there, which they probably did it. I didn't think about it, but I think they also knew that Tom and Ricky could have some potential old issues, and then the Lolo and Ryan have some old issues. Lolo has issues with Ryan. I don't know if Ryan has issues with Lolo, but Lolo seems to have issues with Ryan, and at the very least, she's expecting a certain amount of loyalty out of Ryan because of their shared background being on the Olympics. So there's just, and I don't, maybe there was something between the two of them at one point, because Lolo was like, maybe I should get that clip. Lolo was saying, there's a saying about why the fish and the bird could never be together, because where would they make their nest or something. This is something that Lolo threw out there, and I'm like, what does that mean? Are you saying that you and Ryan were like, potentially romantically involved and you realized it wouldn't work out? I don't know. God, I probably should go get that clip. It could have been just a general statement, but to me, I'm potentially reading a lot into it. I don't know. Maybe they were never involved, but it almost, the whole fact that she's like, why they can never be together. It's like, why are you talking about that? Are you talking about just as friends? Because that's an awful deep, quote to throw out if you're only talking about being friends. So, I probably should get that. Oh, all right. And the other, so those are the three, those are the three that I can think of that haven't, and then there's the Jonathan Dina thing, but I don't think there's anything, there's no history there other than they know each other. But there is some history that they do know each other. Yeah, there are quite a few, quote, couples in the house. What else did I want to cover? Oh, there was one thing that happened at some point last night where there's a couple of images out there floating around, and I retweeted the one from Toombs, where Tom was walking out of the exercise room, and it looks like he bumped into a staff member who was crossing the hallway. There's 2 doors in the hallway. I think the 2 doors are so that a cameraman can get from one... so the cameraman can get from into the booth where the camera must be. So we've now determined that the actual diary room is at the end of the walkway outside the head of household room. So that walkway ends in a door. That is where the entrance to the new diary room is. And the 2 doors that are in the hallway between the workout room and that long walkway, those are just exits, and also sounds like an entrance to a booth for a cameraman to go sit in, and that's what the cameraman was trying to go do. And Or he was coming out of the room and backed into Tom. They kind of like bumped into each other, and Tom's like, hello. And it just looked like the person was in a complete panic. They looked like they were dressed in all black, to sit behind the mirrors to do the filming. So yeah, that was interesting. What else? I think there was one other thing. I gotta think. What was my one other thing? Not sure. Darn it. No, I can't come up with anything else right now. Obviously, Tamar's still hot about Candy. Yeah, I think that's it. We got enough. The live show, however they're doing it tonight, they're going to have to show everything I said they're going to have to show. Then they're going to have to evict. They're going to have to evict Jonathan, and then do a head of household. They obviously not going to do the head of household on the show, because they got to show the whole Cato. They got to show what's his name leaving, the Mooch leaving, new power veto, new nomination, new power veto, the drama before that. Are they even going to have a chance to show Tom talking about wanting to save Jonathan? I don't know if they'll show any of that. I guess we'll probably talk about it on our show on tomorrow. So that's what's up for now. If I come up with more, maybe I'll do one on the way home. I don't know. I've been doing Periscopes on the way home. So hope you guys are all having a good day. This was a relatively short one. I got a late start listening to news and the such, and catching up on Big Brother before I started recording. I can't think of anything else. I don't want to get out of my car because it's a balmy 4 degrees now. So I hope you guys all have a great day, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.